If you own any of these basketball shoes, this video is going to sting. The basketball shoe industry pulls in over $5 billion a year, selling what amounts to $30 of foam and synthetic fabric at a 6-to-1 markup. But the real scandal is not even the price. It is that the $200 shoes test worse than the $85 ones in independent labs. 10 basketball shoes, ranked from overhyped to outright fraudulent, each one exposed by the math the brands pray you never do. Number 10. The Under Armour Curry 12. This is the shoe that launched a signature empire, carried a $215 million endorsement deal, and still could not survive its own parent company's balance sheet. The Curry 12 retails for $140. Estimated build cost sits around $30, confirmed by supply chain sourcing data and Under Armour's own gross margin disclosures. That is a 4.7 times markup for a shoe built around hover foam, which is a fancy name for an alucell energy pod that independent testing shows returns less energy than both Nike React and Adidas Boost. Under Armour's entire footwear research and development budget for 2022 was about $85 million. The Curry deal alone consumed almost all of it. Meanwhile, the footwear division bled $322 million in 2023, and $74 million in unsold Curry and Hover inventory got dumped into clearance bins at outlet malls across America. Then in November 2025, Under Armour and Curry officially split. The math on every Curry 12 sitting on shelves right now is brutal. You are not paying for court performance. You are paying the severance package on a partnership that just died. Number 9. The Nike LeBron 23, the flagship, the crown jewel. $210 retail price for a shoe that costs roughly $42 to $48 to manufacture. The markup multiplier is about 4.5 times, which sounds almost reasonable until you realize what you lost in the upgrade. The LeBron 22 had Zoom Air. The LeBron 23 removed it, swapping in Zoom X over Cushlon 3.0. RunRepeat's lab data measured the LeBron 23 at a 0.77 coefficient of friction on FIBA spec hardwood and 72.1% forefoot energy return. Both numbers are below average for the category. The $120 Adidas D.O.N issue 7 posted a 0.87 on the same traction test. That is a shoe costing $90 less, beating the LeBron on grip. Meanwhile, LeBron's lifetime Nike deal is reported at over $1 billion. If his signature line generates roughly $340 million in annual sales, the endorsement alone eats about $15 of every pair you buy. You are not buying a basketball shoe at $210. You are buying a billboard for a billionaire's brand deal, and the billboard has worse traction than a mid-tier Adidas. Number 8. The Air Jordan 40. $205 for the latest mainline Jordan, built on a legacy that started with Michael Jordan's 5% royalty on gross revenue. Jordan brand pulled in $7 billion in fiscal year 2024. Michael Jordan personally collected somewhere between $260 million and $330 million in royalties that year alone. The actual shoe retails at $205 and carries an estimated factory cost of around $40. Weston K. from Rose Anvil, the leather expert who cuts shoes open on YouTube, has documented that the Air Jordan 1 Mid contains zero actual leather. It is synthetic PU-coated material. The premium Air Jordan 1 85 Retro uses leather that Rose Anvil found surprisingly similar to a standard Air Force One, pulling from the lower quality part of the cowhide. Jordan Brand's revenue in fiscal year 2025 fell 16% to $7.3 billion, according to Sportico's analysis of Nike's 10K filing. That decline did not lower the retail price. It raised it. The Jordan 40 costs $5 more than the Jordan 39. The product got cheaper to justify, but the sticker went up anyway. You are not paying for engineering. You are paying royalties to a retired athlete on a shoe made with materials that would embarrass a $90 competitor. Number 7. The Jordan Tatum 4. $140 for Jason Tatum's signature shoe, and the lab results are some of the ugliest in the entire basketball category. RunRepeat measured the Tatum 4 at 52.4% forefoot energy return, one of the lowest numbers they have recorded. For context, the $85 Giannis Immortality 4 posted higher scores on multiple metrics while costing $55 less. The traction tested below average. The torsional rigidity, which tells you how well the shoe resists unwanted twisting during cuts, was mediocre. This is a shoe that exists because Jason Tatum sells jerseys, not because Nike's engineering team had a breakthrough they needed to ship. The factory cost is estimated at around $30. The math says you are paying $110 for a name on the tongue and performance numbers that a budget model beats without trying. You are not buying a performance basketball shoe. You are subsidizing a marketing campaign disguised as footwear. Number 6. The Puma MB.04. LaMelo Ball's signature shoe retails for $125, backed by a Puma deal reported at up to $100 million over 10 years, though LaMelo's own father publicly called it the worst deal ever. The estimated build cost is around $27. Puma's Nitro Foam, which sounds like a premium technology, is actually TPEE-PEBA or ATPU, depending on which model you buy. The branding is identical. The polymer inside is not. Consumers cannot tell from the box which formulation they are getting. Independent lab reports have ranked Nitro Foam squarely in the middle of the pack, delivering less energy return and more weight than Adidas Boost and Nike React. LaMelo has played in barely half of his team's games over the past 2 seasons due to injuries. The shoe keeps releasing regardless. Puma does not need LaMelo on the court. They need his name on the box. Every MB.04 sold at full price is $125 for a mid-pack foam, an inconsistent polymer formula, and the endorsement of a player who is more often in street clothes than in uniform. Number 5. The Nike Adapt BB. $350 for a self-lacing basketball shoe that Nike marketed as the future of footwear. The future lasted about 72 hours. A firmware update in February 2019 bricked the left shoe for Android users. Because the Adapt has no physical laces, a dead motor means a dead shoe. Nike's official statement acknowledged isolated connectivity issues. Google Play reviews captured the reality. One user wrote that the app bricked his left shoe right out of the box. $350 for a sneaker that required a functioning smartphone app to put on. This is not a basketball shoe. It is a consumer electronics product with a foam midsole, and it failed at the electronics part before most buyers finished their first pickup game. Nike quietly discontinued the basketball version. You were not buying innovation. You were beta testing a product that was not ready for market, and you paid $350 for the privilege. But the top 4 are where the math gets truly offensive. Stay with me. Number 4. The Nike KD18. Kevin Durant's latest signature retails for $150, backed by a lifetime Nike deal reportedly worth up to $300 million, including royalties. The KD18 actually tests decently in the lab, posting a 0.89 traction coefficient and 72.7% energy return according to RunRepeat. So why is it on this list? Because Durant himself barely wears it. During the 2024 to 2025 season, Kevin Durant was photographed wearing Nike Kobe 4s in over 30 games, despite being one of Nike's 3 lifetime signature athletes. When your own endorser picks a dead man's shoe over the one with his name on it, the product review writes itself. The estimated factory cost is about $32. You are paying $118 in markup for a shoe that even Kevin Durant treats as his backup pair. He is not wearing the KD18 because it is the best shoe available. He is cashing the check and lacing up Kobe's. That should tell you everything. Number 3. The Zion Williamson Jordan line. The shoes that started with a literal explosion. February 20th, 2019. Duke versus North Carolina. 33 seconds into the game, Zion Williamson planted his left foot in a Nike PG 2.5, and the outsole ripped apart. The shoe was a $110 model engineered for Paul George, a 200-pound guard. Zion weighed 280 pounds. Forensic analysis by Shoemakers Academy identified the failure as a strobel seam rupture with EVA Phylon sidewall collapse. Nike's stock dropped 1.05% the next day, wiping approximately $1.1 billion in market cap. 5 months later, Zion signed with Jordan Brand for a reported $75 million over 7 years. The signature line launched, limped through 4 models, and Jordan Brand officially shut it down in December 2024, citing poor sales and the fact that Zion had missed 48% of his team's games. $75 million paid out, 4 shoes produced, line canceled. You were not buying a performance basketball shoe. You were funding a BET that a player would stay healthy. The BET lost. The shoes are in clearance bins. The $75 million is spent. Number 2. The Air Jordan Retro line. The Jordan 11 Retro went from $125 in 2001 to $225 in 2024. The Air Jordan 1 High OG climbed from $160 to $180. These are shoes built on 40-year-old designs with materials that have gotten cheaper, not better. Rose Anvil's teardowns documented that recent Jordan 1 Retros from 2015 through 2023 used a softer, tumbled leather finish that does not match the firmer 1985 original stock. Brendan Dunn on the Complex Sneakers podcast called it a decades-long material downgrade. The estimated build cost for a Jordan 11 Retro is about $35 to $40. That is a 5.6 times markup on a shoe, where the technology peaked in 1995 and the materials have been in decline ever since. Jordan Brand collected $7.3 billion last fiscal year on products that are functionally museum pieces rebuilt with cheaper components. You are not buying a basketball shoe. You are buying a memory reconstructed with inferior materials, sold at a price that increases every year for no engineering reason. And number 1. The worst offender in basketball footwear is not a single shoe. It is the entire high-top signature category, and the exposed lie is ankle protection. 4 peer-reviewed studies spanning 30 years and over 36,000 combined player exposures have tested whether high-top basketball shoes prevent ankle sprains. Barrett and colleagues published in the American Journal of Sports Medicine in 1993, studying 622 college players, and found high tops had a numerically higher sprain rate than low tops. McKay and colleagues in the British Journal of Sports Medicine in 2001 tracked over 10,000 participations and identified only 3 real risk factors for ankle injury: prior injury, not wearing a brace, and not stretching. Collar height was not one of them. Tanzi and colleagues in Foot and Ankle Orthopedics in 2023 analyzed 25,000 NBA player appearances and found 0 significant difference between low, mid, and high-top shoes for ankle injuries. The marketing claim that justifies every signature basketball shoe priced above $150 does not survive contact with the published science. The mechanism they sell does not exist in real play. You are paying a $50 to $100 premium for a taller collar that 4 independent research teams across 3 decades could not prove does anything at all. So what actually works? The $85 Nike Giannis Immortality 4 grips within 15% of the $210 LeBron 23 in lab testing. The $120 Adidas D.O.N Issue 7 posted the highest traction RunRepeat has ever measured at 0.87. The Anta KT10 at $130 earned Wear Tester's pick for Best Basketball Shoe of 2025. The Nike Sabrina 2 at $130 and the Jordan Luka 77 near $100 both outperform signature models costing $50 to $100 more. Meanwhile, the most worn shoe in the entire NBA during the 2024 to 2025 season was the Nike Kobe line. 136 players, nearly 24% of the league, chose a shoe designed for a player who passed away in 2020 over every active signature model on the market. Devin Booker wore Kobe's while holding his own signature deal. Kevin Durant wore Kobe's while being a lifetime Nike athlete. The players closest to the product are telling you the answer with their feet. The basketball shoe industry pulls in billions because nobody checks the numbers. A $30 shoe was sold for $210. Lab tests prove $85 models outperform the flagships. 4 studies and 36,000 data points show the ankle protection claim is fiction. Endorsement deals consume more budget than engineering departments. NBA players are quietly rotating out of their own signature shoes and into a shoe line that no living athlete endorses. The math is there. The receipts are public. The only question is whether you keep paying for the logo or you start paying for the shoe. Drop your thoughts in the comments.